Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with episode 2654 of the Cabral Concept. These are our weekend house calls, the weekend edition of the show. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to get to all of our community's questions, just like we do every Saturday and Sunday, answering about a dozen questions per weekend. All of these questions are always answered in the order they come in. So these ones are actually from the beginning of March. And yes, I know that we are already into the month of May. We typically run about 12 weeks behind in moving through the queue of questions. So, as I always say, and I apologize if you're a longtime listener, but you can get your question answered basically every day over at cabralsupportgroup.com. And if you still want to ask me a question, no problem at all. I love getting your questions, love answering your questions on the weekend. And if you don't mind waiting that 12 weeks, head on over to stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. All right, let's dive into today's first question. It says, my daughter, age 8, has a history of always having aches and pains growing up. Leg pain, knee pain, had transient synovitis in her hip. Synovitis is called. Oftentimes has to sit down or rest when every other child is playing and running around without an issue. Let's see, every test has been done, negative, multiple Lyme, spine, x-ray. She recently came up low in vitamin D, only a level of a 21. Now she's supplementing. All aches and pains attributed to growing pains, since no cause could be found. She's the tallest in her class. Since October of 2022, she's been sick off and on, pattern of congestion followed by headache, looking pale, and then a fever that lasts 2 to 3 days. What do you suggest? Well, I would look for sure to see if she has any type of anemia, B12 anemia, copper anemia, and iron anemia. I would look at that. I would look at low thyroid. I would look at gut-based issues for basically having low-grade inflammation all the time. So basically, I would run annual blood work with her doctor, and I would add transferritin, ferritin, TBIC, total iron binding capacity, TIBC. Okay, again, now I have to share with you, I'm not here to provide any diagnosis, treatment, or cure for any disease. So no medical advice at all, but this is what I would do if it was my daughter, and I would run the big 5 labs if possible. So that's exactly what I would do. All right, hopefully that's helpful, because I'm looking at low-grade inflammation, some type of anemia. Yeah, for the most part, that's what I'm looking for. All right, Kim's up next, and that one was from Matt, if I didn't already mention that. Kim is up next. I've been looking at things you have on Pinterest, and I have to tell you personally, I think the tongue is a forgotten part of the body. I have a lot of problems with my tongue, burning, painful bumps, discoloration, and the only answer I get is a very expensive prescription for magic mouthwash. There has to be a reason why this is happening to me most of my life. I'm 59. I'm hoping you have some answers, please. Yes, I have a lot of podcasts actually on burning tongue. And I also have a whole podcast on tongue diagnosis. So I would agree with you. The tongue is a forgotten part of the body. I have older podcasts on this particular topic. Go to stephencabral.com/podcasts. Type in the search box, burning tongue. All right. And, or just type in tongue and there'll be a lot of podcasts. Then type in burning tongue, there'll be less podcasts. And then type in tongue diagnosis and you'll find the one in tongue diagnosis. Now, if you can't find them, ask us. Seriously, just ask for those podcasts at cabralsupportgroup.com. It's a free private Facebook group, and we'll find the shows for you, all right? Thank you. Jeannie's up next. Are there any podcasts on joint replacement and heavy metals? Are there any podcasts on the risks of taking statins? I've listened to all the podcasts on lowering cholesterol. I need something on the negative effects of statins if available. So the answer is yes. There's not a separate podcast on joint replacement and heavy metals, but there are podcasts on some joint replacements and titanium, zirconium with tooth implants, and on joint replacement. So there are some on that. Now, the good news is we don't typically see a lot of heavy metal issues coming from joint replacements. So that's the good news, if it makes you feel any better, if that was your question in the first place. And then there is a podcast on the negative effects of statins. And we talk about cardiomyopathy. So while statins will lower your cholesterol, they can affect your ability to make hormones. So testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, DHEA. It can affect your cell membrane health, right? So all the cells that you have in your body. It can cause actually weakening of the heart called cardiomyopathy. All these you can look up, by the way. Like all of these you can absolutely look up individually. And it is an inhibitor of coenzyme Q10, which is a powerful enzyme. You can look at it as a vitamin if you wanted to, as something that helps to produce ATP, as something that helps with energy, especially in the cardiac tissue and muscle, which is your heart. So I have a podcast on that, and then I just gave you some side effects right there as well. All right? But muscle weakening is one as well. That one was from Jeannie. The next one's from Waylon, and it says, hey, Dr. Paul, any recommendations on individuals struggling with long COVID? Any specific supplements we should take? Great question. We have multiple podcasts on long COVID. And so if you go to stevencabral.com/podcasts and you scroll through the images at the top, you'll find one that says latest virus updates. Haven't done one in a while because there's not a whole lot of virus updates left, but I have multiple podcasts on long haulers, long COVID, whatever you prefer to call it, as well as burning toes. What's some of the other side effects people are experiencing? Loss of smell, loss of taste. So all those shows are there. So please do check that out, Waylon. And if you have additional questions or can't find them, just let us help. Ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. But yes, I have entire protocols for that. All right. Nicole is up next. And if you want listen to the podcast, but just my overall immune boosting protocol, again, no medical advice, is at stevencabral.com/the-protocol. So I just want to make sure you get that too. All right, Nicole says, hi, thank you so much for all the help you do to help people. I am 44 years old, and for the first time, I feel like I'm learning how to make sensible, healthier choices for myself and my family. Are there any meal delivery services you suggest for dinner a few nights a week? Thank you. You know what? I'm actually looking into this. I used to use a company called Sun Basket for a couple healthy meals, and I'm wondering if they might still be a good company. I can't give you the end all be all yet because I like to do some real deep dive research on like who the best are out there. But sometimes companies are bought, and sometimes companies, when they're sold, they sometimes go to inferior ingredients. But they used to do like a wild salmon. They would do some organic-based dishes. You could do some plant-based. And so that was one company, Sunbasket. I'll try to find some others. Maybe do a show on our Friday review podcast. I think that's a great idea. So maybe look into that one for now. But another one is, honestly, there's a lot of great places in local towns and cities that could have some healthier options. And some of them are like Sweet Greens, or in Boston, there's Life Alive. And what my family will do is we might just pick that up for dinner one night. And it's basically fresh cooked. And it has a lot of the healthy organic ingredients that we're looking for. And you can support local businesses as well. So I would look into both. I mean, they're both great options for sure. For sure, yes. One of the nice things too, and I always like to, Nicole, share this with people, is that sometimes the easiest dinner, honestly, is that you have frozen, like wild salmon. It's frozen, the fillets. And so they're boneless. They're easy to cook. Takes 30 minutes. That's all. And then you might have some frozen broccoli. And so, okay, that's always in your fridge. And maybe you have some frozen, keep in mind, I'm making this easy, some asparagus or frozen cauliflower or bok choy or something like that. And then you might make some rice on the side or sweet potato if you want some starch. And all of that only takes 30 minutes. So basically, on one pan in your oven, sorry that we got sidetracked, but I want to give Nicole some feedback because I don't have a good company I can really share with her. And so in 30 minutes in your oven, you can basically cook the salmon, the broccoli, the cauliflower, or the bok choy, or the spinach, or whatever you want to cook. And your rice on the side or your potato on the side. Potato would have to be cubed, so I have frozen squash cubes on the side. And whenever I'm looking for a fast, healthy meal, in 30 minutes I can put the frozen squash cubes, my broccoli, my salmon on one pan, cook it all, and then I add olive oil on the top, maybe a pinch of sea salt, some pepper, a little lemon squeeze, you're good to go, or lime squeeze. So honestly, that takes 30 minutes, super healthy, and it's always in your freezer ready to go. Hopefully that was helpful. All right, let's get to another question. This one's from Aaron. Aaron says, hi, Dr. Ball. I'm so grateful. Oh, did we already do our questions? No, I want to answer. I think we got, believe it or not, already got to them, which I never finished that quick. So I want to get to one more. Hi, Dr. Ball. I'm so grateful for your team. The amazing work you do to transform our world into a better, brighter place is so inspirational and has lit a fire in me to do the same. Thank you for being and spreading your light. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. I'd love to hear your thoughts regarding using products from the longevity line, specifically Inflammasoothe, Cell Boost, Daily Vision, and Daily Hair Support within a specific supplement budget. In your opinion, is it best to do half of the dosage every day of all the products, or do 1 month of taking 2 supplements of the supplements at full dosage and then 1 month off and switching to 2 different supplements, rotating between the supplements at a lesser dose? I feel I can use the benefit of all of them. Interested in your thoughts and advice. That's a great question. I don't know that that's been asked in that way. And there's a very specific answer. So what you want to do is use them. So for example, you could do half strength Cell Boost and half strength Inflammasoothe. No doubt about it. And you can save on that by purchasing it as the Advanced Renewal Kit or Advanced Renewal System at Equilife. So save money by purchasing them together, all right? And then if you want, do half the dosage if you choose to. That's okay. Now, Daily Vision Support should be the full dosage up front if you feel like there's some vision issues. It's a really powerful antioxidant. It's an amazing product. I don't have any issues with my vision, but I do stare at a computer screen a lot, so I often use Daily Vision. But in the beginning, for the first 2 months, I did full dosage, super powerful antioxidant, astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, it's super powerful, bilberry, and then I went to half dosage, okay? And for the Daily Hair Support, you do the same thing. Full dosage to stop any hair loss or thinning or help to regrow for 2 to 3 months, and then you can do half if you needed to, all right? So that's how I would do it, and hopefully that's helpful. All right, let's keep it at that for today. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow answering more of our community's questions. Stay tuned.
Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.